Imagine a world where joy is a bright, shining ball, bouncing high. That's how it was for a little girl named Lily. She lived in a house so big, it was like a castle with a garden stretching out forever, full of flowers that smelled like sunshine. Her dad, Mr. Sterling, was a very rich man, a billionaire, but he loved Lily more than all his money. And her mom was like a warm hug on a cold day, always laughing, always kind. Lily and her mom were like two peas in a pod, always doing things together. They paint pictures, bake cakes, or simply sit by the window watching the world go by. Life was a song, and Lily sang along with all her heart. But sometimes, even in the brightest stories, a dark cloud can appear. One sunny afternoon, Lily and her mom were driving home. The radio was playing a bouncing tune, and Lily was humming along. Her mom smiled, looking at her in the rearview mirror. Then a sudden crash, a loud crash. Everything spun. Everything went black. Picture this. The world stopped. When Lily opened her eyes, everything was blurry. She heard serene people shouting and then nothing. Just a vast, cold silence. Her mom was gone, just like that, vanished into the scary cold air. The shock hit Lily like a giant wave, pulling her under. She tried to cry, but no tears came. She tried to scream, but no sound escaped. Her body felt heavy, like a stone. She was there. She could see, she could hear, but she couldn't move. Not a finger, not a toe. Her bright, shining world had turned into a dark, silent prison. Mr. Sterling, her dad, were heartbroken. He had lost his wife, and now his precious Lily was gone too. In a way, doctors came and went, with their fancy words and sad face. It's a form of paralysis, they say. Psychomatic. Her mind shut down to protect itself from the trauma. They tried everything: medicine, therapy, special machines, but Lily remained still. A beautiful statue with wide, empty eyes. She ate and drank. Her body kept alive by tubes and gentle hands, but her spirit seems to have flown away. The big castle-like mansion, once full of laughter and light, became a quiet, sad place. The flowers in the garden still bloomed, but nobody really saw them. Mr. Sterling walked around like a ghost. His billionaire was crumbling around him. He'd sit by Lily's bed for hours, holding her still hand, whispering stories, hoping for a flicker, a sign, anything, but there was nothing. Just the silent, beautiful girl, lost somewhere deep inside herself. Now, far away from this sad mansion, lived a boy named Finn. He didn't have a big house or a dad who was a billionaire. Finn was homeless. He slept under bridges, in old cardboard boxes, or sometimes, when he was lucky, in a hidden corner of a park. His clothes were torn, his stomach often groaned with hunger, but Finn had a secret treasure: his voice. He could sing. Oh, how he could sing! His voice was like a clear stream, bubbling over smooth stones, carrying melodies that were bold and full of hope. He sang to himself, to the stars, to the lonely street lights. Music was his only friend, his only comfort in a hand-cold world. One night, Finn was wandering, feeling the chill wind bite at his skin. He saw the big Sterling mansion in the distance, light up like a distant dream. It looked like something out of a fairy tale, but a sad one, he thought, seeing the quiet dim light. Curiosity and perhaps a strange pull he couldn't explain led him closer. He found a small broken part of the wall hidden by overgrown bushes. He squeezed through, careful not to make a sound. The garden was vast and dark, but he could see the mansion better now. It was huge, silent, almost spooky. He peeped into the window. One by one, many were dark, but one, on the second floor, had a soft, warm glow. He crept closer, hiding behind a giant oak tree. He saw her, a little girl, perhaps his age, lying in a grand bed. He was She was beautiful, with a long dark hair spread on her pillow, but her eyes were open and vacant. A nurse sat quietly by her side. Finn's heart tightened. He knew sorrow when he saw it. This girl, in her grand bed, was just as lost as he was on the street. He didn't know why, but a song welled up inside him. It wasn't a sad song, but a gentle lullaby. One, one his own mom used to sing to him long ago, before she too was gone. He sang softly, barely a whisper, hoping the wind could carry it, hoping it would reach her. Sleep, little star, the night is deep, but morning light will softly creep. Dream of skies so blue and wide, and know that love is by your side. He finished, his throat a little tight. He waited, hidden, and then he saw it, a tiny flicker in Lily's eyes. Was it just a trick of the light? He wasn't sure, but something told him to come back, and so he did. Every night, Finn would sneak into the billionaire's garden. He would find the spot under the big oak tree, just outside Lily's window, and he would sing. He sang old folk songs, made up tones, and sweet lullabies. He sang of birds and butterflies, of adventures in far-off lands, of hope and sunshine. He never knew if she truly had him or if it is made any difference, but he felt a strange connection to this silent, beautiful girl, a shared loneliness that only music could bridge. Meanwhile, inside the mansion, things were split quiet, but something was subtly changing. Mr. Sterling, burdened by his grief, sometimes felt a faint, almost ghost-like melody floating through the air late at night. He dismissed it as his imagination, a trick of the wind, or perhaps the lonely hum of the old house. But deep down, a tiny seed of wonder was planted. Nurse Anna, who cared for Lily every evening, started to notice things too. Sometimes, when a certain soft melody seemed to drift in from outside, Lily's eye would seem to focus a little more. A tiny muscle in her cheek might switch once. Hannah swore she saw a single tear roll down Lily's temple, glistening before fading into her hair. She reported these things to Mr. Sterling, but he just signed. Hannah is just wishful thinking. The doctor said there is no progress. Finn, with each passing night, grew bolder. He learned the routine of the house, the shifts, changes of the security guard. He became a shadow, moving silently, always drawn to Lily's window. He didn't know about the nurses or Mr. Sterling. He just knew that when he sang for Lily, he felt less alone, and he hoped she did too. One night, the mansion security system was upgraded. New cameras, better sensor. This added a layer of scary suspense to Finn's nightly visit. He had to be extra careful now, moving slowly, listening harder. He was just a boy, small and quick, but if he got caught, he could be in big trouble. He could be sent away, maybe even to juvenile hall, but the thought of not singing for Lily, of leaving her in her silent world, was worse than any fear. One particular dark night, as Finn was singing a song about a brave little bird, he heard a rustle in the bushes nearby. His heart leaped into his throat. A security guard, he froze, ready to bolt. The guard was shining a flashlight, sweeping it across the garden. Finn held his breath, pressing himself tightly against the rough bark of the oak tree. The light beam moved closer, closer, almost touching his hiding spot. He could feel the thumping of his heart in his ears. Then, just as the light was about to hit him, it waved away. The guard grumbled something about a stray cat and moved on. Finn let out a slow, shaky breath. That was a close one. Too close. He stayed hidden for a long time, too scared to sing, too scared to move. He worried he might have to stop coming. Inside, Lily felt a pang. The music had stopped. The gentle, fairy voice that had become her only link to the living world had vanished. Her blank eyes seemed to cloud over, a subtle sadness washing over her still face. She couldn't understand why, but she missed it terribly. She missed the soft melodies that made her feel, even for a moment, that she wasn't so utterly alone. The next night, Finn was back. He knew the risk, but he couldn't stay away. He saw the slight droop of Lily's head, the way her eyes seemed even more distant. He felt it was his fault. He needed to, so he did. Even softer this time, a quiet, hopeful whisper. And sometime magic happened. As his voice drifted through the air, Lily's finger, which had been curled tightly for months, slowly, almost imperceptibly uncurled a fraction. Nurse Anna, who had been feeling tired and was about to doze off, blinked awake. She saw it. She quickly called Mr. Sterling. Mr. Sterling rushed in, his face etched with worry and a hint of desperation. "What is it, Anna? What happened?" "Her fingers, sir. They moved, and I heard the faint music again, just like before," Anna whispered, her voice trembling with excitement. Mr. Sterling looked at Lily, then at her hand. It was still now. He sighed. "It's probably just a spam." "Anna, don't get your hopes up," but a tiny flicker of hope, something he Something he hadn't felt in a long time stirred within him. He decided to pay more attention. He started spending his night in the study near Lily's room, listening. He heard it too. Eventually, a faint, beautiful male voice singing children's song. It wasn't a radio. He tried playing music for Lily, but it hadn't elicited any reaction. This was different. This was life. He didn't know who or what it was, but he knew one thing. It seemed to affect his daughter. He called his head of security. I want you to find the source of that music. Do it discreetly. No alarm, no fuse. Just find out who is singing in my garden. The security team up the security team set up hidden cameras, motion sensors, and even quiet drones. Finn, unaware of the increased surveillance, continued his nightly visit. He was getting better at avoiding the patrols, believing he is now a master. His connection to Lily felt stronger than ever. He felt as if she was waiting for him, listening. One evening, Finn sang a particular cheerful tune, a song about a traveling mystery. He smiled, imagining Lily smiling too. As he sang, a tiny, almost invisible drone whirled silently above him, its camera capturing every detail. The security team, watching from a hidden room, couldn't believe their eyes. A scrawly, homeless boy singing angelic melodies in the billionaire's garden. Should we apprehend him now, sir? Asked the head of security, speaking into a secure line with Mr. Sterling. Mr. Sterling paused. He was watching the live feed on his private screen. He saw the boy's earnest face, the passion in his eyes as he sang. He saw how the boy looked up at Lily's window, a silent plea in his gaze, and then he remembered Anna's report and the slight movement Lily had made. No, Mr. Sterling said, his voice quiet. Let him finish, then bring him to me carefully. Finn finished his song, a soft lingering note hanging in the air. He noticed a faint movement in Lily's window, a curtain switch. Maybe he stood there for a moment, just breathing, feeling the night air. Then he heard soft footsteps behind him. Before he could react, two large men, not wearing security uniform, but clearly strong and silent, were flanking him. You are coming with us, kid, one of them said, his voice firm but not harsh. Finn's heart pounded. He was caught. Fear, cold, and sharp gripped him. He thought of handcuffs, of jail, of never seeing the outside again. He had nothing, and now even his secret joy was taken away. They led him into the mansion through grand halls that made his little street-worn shoes feel impossibly dirty. He was brought to a large, dimly light study. Behind a massive desk sat Mr. Sterling, his face serious, his eyes sad but watchful. So Mr. Sterling said, his voice deep, "You are the one who has been singing in my garden." Finn gulped, his voice barely a whisper. "Yes, sir, I am Finn." "Why?" Mr. Sterling asked, leaning forward. "Why break into my property every night to sing?" Finn looked at the floor, then up at Mr. Sterling, his eyes showing a mix of fear and defiance. I saw her, your daughter, through the window. She looked so sad, so still. I just wanted to sing for her. Music makes me feel better, even when things are bad. I thought maybe it will help her too." Mr. Sterling stared at Finn, searching his face. He saw no malice, no greed, just a simple, almost naive kindness. A homeless boy risking everything just to sing for a stranger. He thought of his broken daughter, of the doctor who had given up, and he thought of the tiny impossible flickers of hope that the music had brought. "You said you think it helps her?" Mr. Sterling asked, his voice softer now. "Sometimes I think I see her eyes move, just a little," Finn admitted, emboldened by the change in Mr. Sterling's tone, "like she hears me." Mr. Sterling made a decision. It was a crazy, desperate gamble, but he had nothing left to lose. "All right, Finn, I am going to make you a deal. If you can help my daughter, truly help her, then I will make sure you never have to be on the street again. I will give you a home, an education, anything you need. But if you can't, then I will have to hand you over to the authorities for trespassing." Finn's eye widened. A home? Education? It sounded like a dream, but the weight of the task pressed on him. Could he really help Lily? He knew only his voice. "I will try, sir," he said, determination firming his voice. "I will try my best." They led Finn to Lily's room. Nurse Anna was there, watching with wide, hopeful eyes. Lily laid in her bed, still and silent as ever. Finn's stomach fluttered. This was a different from singing from afar. This was real. He walked over to Lily's bedside. He reached out a hesitant hand and gently took her still, cool fingers. Her hand felt small and fragile in his. He looked into her vacant eyes, and for a moment, he felt all the fear and sadness in the room. He closed his own eyes, took a deep breath, and began to sing. It was the lullaby he had first sung for her, the one about the little star. His voice was soft, clear, and full of a quiet, desperate hope. Sleep, little star. The night is deep, but morning light will softly creep. Dream of skies so blue and wide, and know that love is by your side. He sang with all his heart, pouring every bit of his soul into the melody. He sang of sunshine and laughter, of warm hugs and shared secret. He sang of the world outside, waiting for her. He sang until his throat was raw, until tears streamed down his own face. And then something miraculous happened. A gasp from Nurse Anna. Mr. Sterling leaned closer. His breath hissed in his throat. Lily's finger, held gently in Finn's, began to switch. Then slowly, painfully, her eyelid fluttered. They lifted, revealing her eyes that were no longer vacant, but filled with a new, drowning light. They focused on Finn's face, wide with wonder and something else recognition. A single tear, not of sadness, but of release, traced a patch down Lily's cheek. Her lips trembled, and then a sound, a soft, raspy whisper, barely audible, but the most beautiful sound Mr. Sterling had ever heard. Mommy! The room exploded into quiet. Joyful sob, Mr. Sterling rushed to Lily's side, tears streaming down his face as he gently held her head. No, my darling, it's Daddy. You are home. You are awake. Lily looked at her father, then back at Finn, a faint smile grasping her lips. Her world had just started moving again. The long, silent nightmare was broken. The music, the simple, heartfelt songs of a homeless boy had reached her where no medicine or therapy could. Finn stayed true to his word. Mr. Sterling gave him a home in the mansion, clothes, good food, and private tutor. Finn, once a homeless boy, now a family. He became Lily's constant companion, her secret friend who had brought her back. He still sang to her every day, his music a gentle reminder of the bridge he has built between her silent world and the bustling one. Lily, with Finn's help, learned to move again, to speak again, to laugh again. Her voice, at first quiet and shaky, grew stronger, and sometimes she would even sing along with Finn. The Sterling mansion, once a place of deep sorrow, was now filled with the sound of music, laughter, and the quiet joy of two children who had found each other against all odds. Finn, the boy who had once sucked in like a shadow, was now a beloved son, and Lily, the girl who had been lost, was found. The end.